I like that near the end we were like, okay, nothing can be worse than the end of Beast Wars with the Vok, right? And then the comic book comes and it's like, hey guys, remember the Vok? Yeah, we're bringing it back.
Hey readers, go Vok yourself.
Too much energon.
Too much energon, like this podcast.
Cheetor, what in the ever-loving fuck have you done?
If I wanted to fly, I would have become a bat, not a rat.
It seems my head is purple fire now.
Intelligent conversation.
The louder you yell, the more damage your bullets do.
Ah! Yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Well,
It's gonna blow.
I've decided that I want to live.
No. Not that. Ah!
Welcome, listeners, to episode 135 of Too Much Energon, your favorite podcast where two rad dudes talk shit about Beast Wars and talk about Beast Wars shit. I'm NeoCal saying things in reverse, and introducing me is my co-host, Christopher Siege.
that's Sage Christopher to you, honey.
That's Sage Christopher to you. Yeah. That's going to be the most entertaining thing we're going to do on this episode, folks, because that was last episode. And let me tell you, I remember more about last episode than I did this one, even though I just watched this one because,
Some stuff happens.
Some stuff happens. And, to be fair, was this episode 7 of Beast Wars 2nd?
This is episode 7 of Beast Wars 2nd. It is
The army, go ahead.
the Insect Corps arrive. It originally aired
Insect Corps.
on May 13th, 1998. Fun fact, May 13th is my ex-wife's birthday.
Bitch. Unfun fact. I guess there were two terrible things that happened on this date. But no, it was not the same year, thankfully.
That would have been her 11th birthday, I think. May 13th, 1998. Yeah. She was
Truly
born.
a dark day in history. All right, so I'm going to pad this out a bit. All right, Siege, anything cool happening?
Shout
Any
out to you, Tori.
anything cool?
I know you're listening.
Yeah, you watch every fucking episode, all 135.
Right.
The fuck was I going to say? Oh, you've got a cool thing to show.
I
Or
do.
video.
What's
that?
I recently picked up. Well, actually, I got my girlfriend to pick it up for me. My pre-order of Studio Series 86 Rise of the Beasts Ronnie Primal leader class figure, baby. Now,
Well, that's cool. Wait, you got him like dual wielding some things like nunchucks.
couple
All right.
blades, much
Audio
like
listeners, the Batman of figurines for Transformers is here, and it's Gary Primal, and he has nunchucks.
Ronnie
that are part
Primal.
sword. Ronnie Primal, sorry, and he has nunchucks that are half saber and half axe.
they're not nunchucks. They're much like in Beast Wars. Optimus Primal had those like two like swords that he
Yeah,
wielded.
those like two sabers.
Yeah, these are but just with chains attached to the end.
Chains attached to them, and then on the other side of the chain is
It's
an
like
axe.
an axe. Yeah.
So in a way, it's kind of like if nunchucks weren't just two handles, the nunchucks were an axe and a sword.
The pieces
You
are
hear me?
The pieces are modular. I just decided to like put them together that way because I thought it looked cool. But like you can
Think of how dangerous nunchucks are, and now attach a sword to one or the other.
but like you can detach them and whatnot.
Oh, and it's like little magnets that like bend and oh shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, like I said, I did it that way just because I thought it looked cool.
I did it my way. And you know what else is cool?
Christmas.
Christmas is cool.
Christmas is fucking coming, folks. I just decorated my place, and if you're a part of the Lasercomb Discord, you may have seen the photo that I posted of my little runt of a Christmas tree. And my little like light and ornament set up and
You know
whatnot.
what this is? You know what this is?
The definition of insanity.
The definition of this is a chestnut.
Chestnuts roasting
that's
on
right.
an open fire.
Yeah, I'm
Fucking
holding
hate-
up a chestnut.
Fucking hate roasted chestnuts.
Well, you're supposed to. All like the pilgrims ate them when they were starving in the winter. Like this, I don't think they had a choice.
They taste horrendous.
Oh, I can imagine. Surprised they're even edible. Did I ever mention, what was it, like a month ago? It was like near the end of summer. I didn't realize chestnut trees got like 100 feet tall or like whatever, but like it was windy and like a chestnut like fell and hit me in the fucking head. Yeah, I ranted about it one time
You talked about
on
this,
like a super laser comb super show or TME or something like that.
Yeah, because I brought up the time where I thought someone had thrown a rock at the back of my head.
And
It's
that's
like
exactly what it felt like.
Yeah.
Piece of shit trees, man. The trees.
The trees, they're
Man.
coming for us. If
You know what?
Ham Night Shamhammer is to be believed.
Ham Night Shammernam. Ham Night Vietnam. You know what? This episode needed more Queer Mantis.
It did need more Queer Mantis.
Queer Mantis is in it.
They stopped calling him Queer Mantis too.
Yeah.
The subtitles in this episode just refer to him as that strange mantis guy. And I'm like, no.
Strange.
He's Queer Mantis. Come on now.
Yeah, that Queer Mantis guy is what you meant. Don't take backsies. You can't take the only canon LGBTQ plus character from Beast Wars lore.
He's decidedly less fabulous this episode too, which I was very disappointed.
Yeah, he's
about.
like a guy in a chair this episode. He's like
Yeah,
literally sitting in
there's
a cave.
There's no like twirling.
There's
going
no
on.
pride like Mardi Gras dance. Like there's no Mardi Gras dance, folks. I'm disappointed. You know what? I'm not opening this chestnut because like
No,
just
don't
envisioning like
don't do it.
1,000 little.
Bring in
little
Roddy
spiders.
Ronnie Primal back into the frame.
That's right.
I didn't actually say what I thought of him. This is a fucking hype figure. He's a leader class. I have stated numerous times in the past that I don't typically collect movie figures. But this is actually like one of the hypest leader class toys, Transformers I've seen so far.
Yeah, I had mentioned this in the in a Patreon exclusive off air thing.
Super show.
The color palette is just like grays and blacks, but design is hype. They did it well.
His design is modernized, but it's definitely like evocative of like the classic like Optimus Primal design, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think they did a good job. And he's got the beefy gorilla arms and shoulders.
Yeah, he's
It's
got
like the
shoulder
Batman
pads.
of the Beast Wars.
He's got the shoulder pads. He's got the open faceplate, so he's got a mouth. Camera's a little blurry, but
Oh, excuse me.
yeah, I just wish he was in robot mode more in that movie.
Yeah, he's aping around most of it, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He only transforms in the big battle at the end.
The whole, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
I didn't realize he only transformed once.
He spends the rest of the movie in monkey mode.
Monkey mode, man. You know what this episode could have used more of?
Monkey mode.
Monkey mode. Can't tell you what monkey mode would have been, but I don't know. Just an episode focused on Apache, I guess. Which probably would have been better. Because okay, here's the TLDR. We always do this. I summarize and then we like start. The summary is the Insecticons are discovered
The Insectrons.
Sorry, the Insectrons are discovered. And Starscream and BB frame the conflict in the episode by pinning it on the Maximals.
Marijuana. But why?
Well, you know, like, because the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
That was the most burning question that I had throughout all of this, was like, what does this serve to frame the Maximals exactly? Because as near as I could figure, the Insectrons are kind of just neutral in the conflict.
Yes. And so, okay, so the Insectron, there's some lore. The Insectrons fled the galaxy because they were tired of the Autobots and the Decepticons, or whatever variant you want to call them, fighting everywhere.
Right.
So they were like, fuck all y'all, we're going to go to this like peaceful planet. And that explains something about Queer Mantis, as he was just hanging out in this Aztec monkey head temple, chilling, right? Like vibing, like listening to some tunes.
You'll rue the day you came inside Queer Mantis's cave, Lyle Conroy.
You'll rue the day you came inside Queer Mantis.
Okay, that little like 10-second bit there was infinitely more entertaining than this episode of Beast Wars second.
Yeah, Queer Mantis. Okay, so the two Insectrons shown are Mosquito Man and, I don't know, other Mosquito Man. It's like a wasp and a mosquito.
Ton Boss and Big Moss.
You say so, man. And they're both idiots. So you know how there's usually like a smart guy and an idiot to counterbalance each other? They're both just idiots.
Right.
One likes to use broken English a lot, which I found funny. So for discretion, full discretion, listeners, much like a certain Eric, I just kind of like listened and watched this episode like in the background while I was cooking.
You listen to this Japanese language show.
Yeah.
In the background.
And every once in a while I would hear like, haha, pleased to meet you. And I'd be like, huh? Oh, one of them speaks like English here and there.
So Big Moss is the big ass mosquito. Get it? Big Moss.
Ah, he's a big mosquito.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
I had the toy of him when I was a kid. He is based on the Beast Wars non-show toy Transketo.
Transketo, better name, because then it would have been canon, right, with Queer Mantis and Transketo.
Yeah.
That the Insectrons would be just LGBT people trying to not be involved in a war.
Yeah, see,
I'm just going to keep calling them Transketo.
There you go. According to the TF wiki, Big Moss is the leader of the Insectrons, and I'm like, I don't get that from this episode at all. It seems like Queer Mantis is the one in charge.
Yeah, because when they go to him, he's like, hey, you guys are idiots. Go out and like do this and do it right this time. Like
Right.
They seem afraid of him or like subservient to him. Don't know. I'm not getting boss vibes from Transketo.
Yeah. So the crux of the episode is G2 Megatron sees footage of Transketo and Tonbot. What's Tonbot's Hasbro name?
Wasp guy.
Predacon Jetstorm. Okay.
Oh, huh.
They
Weird.
like to reuse names in.
They do. Okay, Predacon Jetstorm.
Okay, so Transketo and Jetstorm. So G2 Megatron sees footage of Transketo and Jetstorm
Wrecking the Constructons.
Oh yeah, because they're doing some like Fern Gully, like clear cutting bullshit. At
Okay,
the
so
of the episode.
At the beginning of the episode, I think it's like, what is it? Thrust and
Dirge.
the other dude, Dirge. They're like
Jay and Silent Bob.
Jay and Silent Bob are cracking a whip at the Constructo bots. And they're like, it shouldn't take us long to get all the energy from this continent. And I'm like, you guys are cutting down one tree at a time. How big is this fucking planet? All the energy from an entire continent? And you got like one, you got one dump truck bot and like one tree cutting bot. Yeah, I'm sorry, but like this is, by the time you finish with this continent, the beginning of the continent will have started regrowing trees. You guys are awfully optimistic.
Well, we're doing the maddest fucking bomb-ass job, Silent Bob. It's time we had a fucking break.
Time we had a fucking break. And then when the Constructo bots are like, hey, we'll have a break too. They're like, did I say you can have a fucking break? No, really.
That's what happens.
They take a break from supervising the construction bots and get angry at the construction bots when they stop working for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Already I hate these guys. But yeah, the Insectrons are like, hey, you guys woke us up. Fuck you. And like kick the shit out of them. And they all run away. These like 2 insects like beat the shit out of like these 4 like Decepticons. Also, and they go,
everyone in this episode too is all like, oh, that's weird. Those are just bugs. Oh, those are really big to be bugs. That's weird. Oh my god, the bugs are talking. And it's like, you guys transform into like fucking Tasmanian devils and like lions and like
buffalo and
baboons
a gigantic frog.
Yeah, so and yet you guys are like all surprised because there are these giant talking bugs flying around.
For being
like, really?
Sentient like robots with like advanced future tech, they are shockingly fucking dumb, man.
I was gonna say, the characters in the show on both sides are all like really fucking stupid. Even Lio Convoy is pretty fucking
Lio
stupid.
Convoy is pretty like almost kind of like a big brother, like letting his little brother lose at video games. Like if it was like that, I would understand. Oh, I didn't know that. Do you want to tell me? Like when a little kid is like, do you want to know, like, did you know that dinosaurs aren't dead because dinosaurs are birds? Right? And you're like, oh, really? Right? I thought it was like that at first. No, Lio Convoy is actually just as dumb as everyone else. He just talks more like a leader.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Just pump your charisma stat and people will think you're smart. So fucking what happens? They try to negotiate, being like, we are not your enemies. But Starscream is like, ha, watch and learn, G2 Megatron. You don't have to fight every single enemy you meet, dumbass.
So him and BB go and intercept the Insectrons, and they're all like, oh, was it the devious Decepticons who awoke you from your slumber? And they're like, maybe it was. Who are you guys? Oh, we are the heroic Maximals. Look at the symbols that we have on our chest now.
We changed into animals. And they were like, oh, and this is the part that confused me. I'm like, why wouldn't you pretend that it was the Maximals that attacked you?
Here, I have this floppy disk with all the answers to all the questions that you need. And they're like,
right, I forgot about that.
They're like, wow, thanks, Starscream.
It sure is fun to learn.
Oh, who is that flying up in the sky? Oh, that's devious Decepticons, Jay and Silent Bobtron flying here. BB, launch a missile at them. He's like, okay.
Roger.
And Jay and Silent Bob are like, what the fuck? Like, almost like literally, like that's their reaction. They're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And then when they're hit by the missiles, they go, ah, into the forest. And then Starscream and BB are like, well, see, that's proof that we're on your side. Anyways, we're going to go and finish them off. We'll see you cool cats later. Remember, we're the Maximals.
We're the Maximals, and remember, check the floppy disk that we gave you, because it tells you who the Decepticons are on this planet. And they're
anyways,
like, okay.
Goodbye. And then the Transketo and fucking Jetstorm are like, wow, those guys are pretty cool. Well,
Yeah,
I wish
let's-
I was as cool as them.
Wow, let's go.
Let's go and tell our leader, Queer Mantis.
Yeah, and so they go back to the ancient ruins, and Queer Mantis is there with a fucking laptop, which
Like an
made me
actual,
laugh.
just like 1995 laptop.
which made
Like
me
not
laugh.
a future tech. Like it's just a big fucking thick chonky like laptop. Yeah, I left at that.
And they're like, oh, we met these two really cool Maximals, Starscream and BB, and they gave us this floppy disk. Here, check it out. And Queer
By the way,
Mantis-
CDs were out when this came out.
they were, yeah.
I
They were prominently used at this point too. Like,
we're not reviewing something from 1985,
yeah.
folks. You would think from the Christopher's love of anime, you'd think from the animation quality and the writing quality that I could understand that you might be confused and think this is from 1985.
Oh yes, my unrivaled and well-documented love of anime in general.
Which is why he wanted to review every single episode of Beast Wars Second instead of in chunks.
Longtime listeners may be aware that I am quite outspoken about the fact that I am not a fan of anime in general.
Yeah, and
and there's more anime bullshit with Artemis and Moon.
but it doesn't give us any answers about who they are, and it's so sorry. There's more domestic abuse on the moon.
Oh yeah. Moon is the girl, right? And Artemis is like
Moon
the...
is the Moon is the rabbit,
Oh, okay.
and Artemis is the robot girl. And every
Okay.
time,
She's very abusive toward.
oh yeah, it's domestic abuse. Well, you see, it's funny to it's a good thing to remember in anime. It's funny when girls are violent, especially to boys. But in this case, I don't know, a robot rabbit. She's always like choking or pulling the ears of or chasing or like using a gigantic Harley Quinn hammer to like smash the shit out of this like poor robot. And I'm like, stop.
And in this
the
case,
love
like
of
just
God.
straight up fucking choking him out, like
Being like, oh, why didn't you tell me something? Blah blah blah. Because what is it? They're like, oh, the Decepticons are like deforesting South America, and she's like, why didn't you tell me? And then like whatever. Honestly, they've made no impact onto the show whatsoever,
right.
which is kind of like actually just annoying me now. Like I think they threw it in there just for some like cute characters to start and end the episode with.
Yeah, like I said, that's why every episode I've been like, oh, more anime bullshit.
Yeah, they start and end it because at the end there's this fourth wall breaking segment where with like Artemis and Moon where they're like, oh, today we're gonna learn about, and then they give you like some facts about the characters introduced or some stupid thing. And yeah, they open it with a little skit from them, and they end it with that like little like Artemis's corner.
Yes, let's interview the Insectrons. They are known as the Wanderers of the Universe. Oh, why did you decide to settle on Gaia? Well, you see, oh, that's all the time we have. Bye-bye. Wait, I was just going to answer your question. Bye-bye, we're out of time. But
Really good questions, by the way, that are actually just never answered. Like they're just fucking edging you every fucking episode. And I'm like, that's like the opposite of things I want.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's on the floppy disk?
Character bios of the Maximals, basically.
Character bios of the Maximals.
And Queer Mantis is looking at this and is like, he sees Lyle Convoy and he's like, oh, that's that
fucker.
That's that useless little bitch who broke his way into my ancient ruins.
That's that cishet bitch that broke into my ruins and blew it up. And the thing is, it's not kind of wrong because they didn't know that like BB and Starscream like blew up the ruins.
Yeah.
So they're framing the Maximals kind of successfully.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And they're like what is it? Transketo and Jetstorm are like, oh, boss, like what else is on the floppy disk? And Queer Mantis is like, well, let's see. And clicks a button and it's like, oh, who are these assholes? They must be that filthy bitch of alliance cohorts and co-conspirators.
Filthy bitch of a lot. And yeah, it's like full of the Maximals bio. Was there anything else on it or just that? Just the Maximal? Yeah.
It's literally just pictures of the Maximals.
Yeah. Maximals. I want pictures of Maximals on my desk by morning. And he's like, now leave me and go deal with the Maximal scum. Leave me to look at these pictures. Yes. As he like touches the...
Close
the door
behind you. I want to be alone here.
And they just leave, and they're like, okay, and they go to fight the Maximals.
Yeah, they go to fight the Maximals. The Maximals are like, wait, we're not your enemy.
Don't fight. And to the credit of Transketo and Jetstorm, they're like, what could you say that, okay, we're listening. And on the side, always on the side, fucking Starscream is watching. He's always watching. Every fucking episode, he's off on the side with like fucking binoculars being like, that's like, that's one thing I like about the Starscream in that is like, he's kind of got this like long con, like plan. And he's like, oh, they're going to negotiate now. BB, launch your load, your thickest load at them. Go.
There's some
there's a bunch of other shit with like the Maximals interacting with each other and looking for Queer Mantis. Doesn't matter.
There's a bunch
they
of
all split up.
There's a bunch of as they always do. There's a bunch of like quick little scenes involving Bighorn and Apache, which I always find delightful because I love Bighorn. Bighorn's my favorite character in this show.
Him interacting with the different characters was interesting because he's like, pull my tail. And Apache's like, no.
Apache, pull my tail. And Apache's like, I'm
no.
No, I'm not falling for that again.
And he's like, pull it.
Come on, pull my tail.
Don't be a wuss. Pull my tail. And he's like, okay. And he pulls his tail and he uses his ult where like his head comes out of like, his like head opens up and he like launches that special missile. And I guess this was to send like an explosion in the air to act like a flare,
Bighorn
right?
is big when the Insectrons are in the air above the Maximals. Bighorn is like, well, if you won't pull my tail, I'll pull my own. Yeehaw! Hee! And launches a missile. And Apache's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, well, that's definitely going to get their attention, right? But he's like, but now they're going to think that we're attacking them. And he's like, what? Pretty much.
And indeed, Transketo and Jetstorm are like, hey, those are two Maximals on the dossier.
On the MO disc.
On the MO disc.
That I got from President Baker.
And they're attacking us. Good thing that their aim is shitty. And then they go and attack them. And it's like, well, you could have just not.
And I definitely like looked away for like a good like 10 seconds or so, but like at the end of the episode, like something happens and all of a sudden there's a rainbow, which just made me laugh. And I'm like, ha ha! Queer Mantis is here.
So in the episode, all the Maximals are together and they're like, wait, Transketo and Jetstorm Wasp, we're not your enemy. And that's when Starscream is like, and now, and they send an explosion that hits like all of them, and it makes the Insectrons feel like the Maximals attacked them, and they retreat. And they're like, oh, geez, we need to get like more forces if we're gonna fight the Maximals. And the Maximals are like, shit, we've been set up.
Dun, dun,
and then there's like a rainbow.
Oh audio listeners, I'm doing the like Queer Mantis arm twirl.
Yeah, it's important that you like wax on in both of your arms and you just rotate it so that it hypnotizes people. Well, yeah, let's not linger.
No.
Siege, you just watched episode 6.
7.
Of Beast Wars. Sorry, 7 of Beast Wars. 6 was the good one. 7 of Beast Wars 2nd that introduced some Insectron friends that expanded the LGBTQ plus cast.
Just for posterity, why don't we explain the rating system?
Oh, well, I suppose so. You're on Too Much Energon, whether it's like board games, movies, toys, mostly TV shows, anything Beast Wars related. We have a 3-tier rating system. It goes from not enough energon, a sufficient amount of energon, to too much energon. It is basically bad, okay, good. Siege, what do you think of episode 7 of Beast Wars 2nd? The rise of the Insectrons.
Very, very quick sidebar. Cal mentioned board games. There may be more of that coming soon.
Oh shit!
So
super serious board games.
So keep an eye out. I'm gonna rate this episode not enough energon. probably bordering on no energon.
Whoa! Hey, hang on here.
Bordering, not quite there, but close. Not enough energon. This episode is boring.
I don't know if my scale is sliding, like for this particular show or like what, but this is a low sufficient amount of energon for me.
What?
Because I like how schemy like Starscream is. Well, even is it? Did anything happen? I like
Not
the
really.
idea of like 2 Constructicons like taking down and harvesting all the energy from an entire like continent in like, you know, a few like cycles.
I liked how Queer Mantis just straight up having in these like ancient ruins that he's been living in for however long, just straight up having a fucking laptop.
But that no, I shouldn't slide my like scale. This is not enough energon. And now that I'm like I'm thinking about things and it's like I can't judge it based on how bad it is and make that like the new normal. It's
I mean, we spent half the time referencing jokes from the last episode of the podcast.
That's a pretty good merit. Or doing the Queer Mantis dance, or talking about a figurine.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. Good. Yeah,
Pretty
we usually
good.
like linger more on like the funnier like parts, but we mentioned them all.
Yeah,
So yeah,
it's pretty
not enough
indicative
energon, folks.
of the quality. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we only made it through like half of the rainforest. Not enough energon.
Only made it through half of the rainforest, and then, well, we just couldn't get enough of Tim Curry. That's what
You
I'm
couldn't get
saying.
enough of Tim Curry?
Yeah, Fern Gully.
Oh shit! Right.
Yeah, he was the like oil creature.
Yeah.
That movie.
There's something I haven't seen in a while. Fern Gully.
Fern Gully, the last rainforest. Anyway, that was episode 135 of Too Much Energon. Best way to support the show is to go to patreon.com/lasercomb, LAZORCOMB. We're at the single $5 nope. There's more than one single tier now.
We used to have one tier
Yep.
on our Patreon.
Now there are 3 tiers again. There's the $5 Gary tier, there's the $10 Primal tier, and there's the $20 Too Much tier, which we have a couple of subscribers to, and thank you to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know who you are. You get our Patreon exclusive podcast, the Super Lasercomb Patreon Super Show, which we've actually been hammering out like on a weekly basis for the past couple of months now.
If not more, yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to get in on, there's also a bunch of other stuff. You can pick a show for us to review a random episode of on
right.
our other podcast, the Lasercomb podcast, and commentary tracks and a whole bunch of other goodies. So if you want to get in on that, go to patreon.com/lasercomb. Follow me on Twitter or Blue Sky at Lasercomb, or you can follow me on Instagram at Christopher Siege. You can add me as a friend on Xbox Live if you want. No one has yet, but you can. My gamer
Be
tag,
the first.
my
Be the
game-
first.
my gamer tag is Lasercomb. Cal, where can people find you?
Yeah, well, you can find me on the Blue Sky. Yeah, I got NeoCal. That one hasn't been taken. I'm Neo_Cal on TikTok and like Steam and like a bunch of other stuff. Calhalla on Xbox Live that I haven't logged into for like a million years.
Like 15 years.
Yeah, it doesn't include me using Xbox Game Pass for PC. just Xbox Live. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm on
It's because you haven't logged into an Xbox One or an Xbox Series console.
a console. Yeah.
Because like it shares my PC Game Pass activity on my profile.
Oh, excuse me, folks. Oh yeah, you can follow me if you're into like tabletop, like role-playing games. On Dork Tales Wednesday nights, we're finishing up a Dragonlance campaign where I play an elf bard. That's right.
Cheers.
A charismatic elf. Me. Imagine, if you will.
Gather round.
You know what? I just
Let
realized.
me tell you a tale.
Let me tell you a tale. As gay as can be. Let me
A
tell
tale
you a
of
tale.
3 little pigs and a big, bad wolf.
Oh, did you know that there's a Wolf Among Us too?
I heard it was in the works.
Is that done? Because I actually really liked The Wolf Among Us. And then like Telltale Games disappeared, and now it's back in POG form. Wolfman 2.
I got kind of sick of their games after a while. I got to be honest.
That's fair. The Wolf Among Us was not one of their later games,
No, it came out in like 2014 or so, I think.
and I like that. I think it's one of their better ones.
I really liked The Walking Dead. Their Back to the Future game was okay. I really liked their Strong Bad. Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people. That was one
I
of
didn't
their
even
earliest-
know.
That was one of their
I-
earliest things.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Unfortunately, you can't get it anymore, but you could probably find it by raising the Jolly Roger, if you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean. Apparently, it came out October 11th. Oh, that's 2013. I was looking at Wolf Among Us 1. Silly me. I wanted Wolf Among Us 2.
I don't think it's out yet.
I would know, right? I would have gotten notified, surely. Surely.
Yeah, I liked those. I liked season 2 of The Walking Dead. Season 3 of The Walking Dead was fine. Never finished the final season. Never played The Walking Dead.
I never finished the final season. I never played Michonne. It just says coming to. So
I
not out yet.
I didn't like their Monkey Island adventure game, like Tales of Monkey
Oh.
Island.
I didn't know they did one.
I didn't like their Batman game. I didn't like their Game of Thrones game.
I did like the Game of Thrones ones. I thought those were well done, but I guess it depends if you really like Game of Thrones as well.
I like the show. I tried reading the books and and reading them, I'm like, I see George R.R. Martin is a fan of the work of Frank Herbert.
Oh,
Because
that's interesting.
because
Yeah.
his style of prose is very similar and equally
not
as
as
boring.
good.
Not as
But-
good,
and
but
not as good, which is saying
And-
something.
focuses on the same like mundane, like boring details.
Oh my god, I'm glad it wasn't just me. Yeah, homie can describe like all of the food being brought out by like the help, in like a banquet hall for like 6 pages.
Yep.
Y-
Yeah, it's like if you read Dune and then you read any of like the Song of Ice and Fire books, like there's definitely like you can see the influence there. At least I could.
It's a
anyway.
good book to put you to sleep,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. It goes on a bit and it's dry. You know what's going on a bit and is dry?
This episode of the podcast.
This episode of the podcast.
So it's time to peace out, homies. We'll be back next week. No, actually, not next week. Wait, maybe? Gotta look at the calendar. No, we won't be back next week. Because I'm working a graveyard week.
Right. It's a graveyard week, folks.
So
I don't know what that means.
I don't even want to. I don't know how this is going to work exactly with me, but so I don't even want to make an attempt to try and like plan any amount of like recording during that week. So I guess
that's going to be asking for pain, asking for disappointment.
It will, yeah. So we might be back the following in 2 weeks from now with episode 8 of Beast Wars 2nd, or we may be back with part 1 of our 2023 holiday special, where we have something real special planned. And well, I'm not going to say what it is. It's just going to be a surprise when it comes out. It's going to be a
surprise.
But it's going to be something real fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Anyway, until then, I have been Christopher Siege, one of your hosts.
And I'm Neo, the Cheetah Man, Cal.
Thanks for listening. We will we will transketo you next week. Or next time.
We'll Queer Mantis you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.